What's up, y'all? I just figured with all the news going around about Islam moving up, and I know y'all seen that video of Dana White talking about the Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones fight. So we're gonna talk about uh fights that we're never gonna see in the UFC. We're doing a little tier list. So if this fight's in D tier, this is dog shit. Probably aged like milk. Maybe it was hype at the time, but nobody wants to see this shit anymore. And if it's S tier, I literally pray that this fight happens every single fucking night. But anyways, let's get into the tier list. The first one that we got, Khabib versus Kamaru. Now, obviously, two of the GOATs in their divisions at the time. This would have been a double champ fight for Khabib. And, you know, it's a pretty cool fight. But it's in B tier. It's definitely in B tier because I just don't think Khabib would have been able to handle the weight of Kamaru. I mean, we're talking about the guy that ducked welterweight so hard that he went to the hospital cutting weight. And that shit's true. Look it up. Trust me. I looked into it. It's fucking true. This guy he cut weight so hard that he had to go to the hospital. He was literally about to die. And, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but y'all get the fucking point. And, listen, I mean, we saw the takedown defense that Kamaru had in the Hamzat fight. It was like 90% takedown defense, which is fucking crazy because Hamzat's a monster. And, you know, that is like old Kamaru. Prime Kamaru, I don't think that he's letting Khabib take him down. And, yeah, like I said, this is a cool fight, but I just don't think it's all that competitive. So, moving on. We got Mighty Mouse versus Pantoja. And, you know, also a cool matchup. It would be cool to see Mighty Mouse, to see if Mighty Mouse still has it, but against the current flyweight, or the current, shit, man. The current best flyweight in the world. But DJ, you know, he's retired, and I just don't think that he's all interested in this fight. Plus, DJ's got beef with the UFC, so probably wouldn't happen anyways, even if he wasn't retired. And let's be honest, this is still flyweight. I mean, flyweight's not the most exciting division. I don't think very many people care for it outside of hardcores. So yeah, Mighty Mouse versus Pantoja in C tier. And this next fight, yeah, Armen versus Islam. You know, it's still an A tier fight. It's still a good fight. And their first fight was pretty insane. It had some insane scrambles, and it was super competitive. And besides Ilya, I think this might be the only guy that can stop Islam in lightweight, you know? So this would have been a cool fight to see. I really don't think that we're going to see it anymore. If Islam moves down, he's probably either going to fight Charles or Ilya. But I don't think he's going to move back down. So this fight is probably never going to happen. And I also just don't think that it's all that hyped up anymore. I think ever since Armen pulled out, the hype has died down for it. And nobody really wants to see this anymore, especially with Ilya at lightweight. But, you know, it'd still be a cool fight. Like I said, very competitive. It would be a fun fight to watch. But, yeah, I think the hype's just kind of died down for it. Yeah. This next fight, actual dog shit. Like, this is a stinker, man. Chandler versus McGregor. Dude, nobody wants to see this fight. I mean, it's funny how McGregor just keeps trolling him online, tweeting at him incoherently, all coked up and shit. And, you know, Chandler's on his knees begging for this fight. It's just honestly sad at this point. And I do think it's kind of hilarious how every time Chandler loses, he still calls out Conor. Like, bro, Chandler's not been winning lately, but even if he did win, it would still be fucking hilarious. Just because this fight's not fucking happening, bro. I don't understand why he thinks that this fight is happening. And, you know, McGregor, he's not coming back, bro. He's running for fucking Irish president and shit like that. And he's fucking chilling with the Pope. And I just think it's funny how people are still talking about this. But yeah, D tier fight. Nobody wants to see this shit. And it just probably wouldn't even be that fun to watch, if I'm being honest. I mean, Conor hasn't competed in fucking years, and, you know, I mean, Chandler, he's pretty funny to watch, but, you know, well, maybe he could win. But Chandler's just been losing so much recently, it's hard to bet on him. Alright, this next fight, I'm pretty sure nobody wanted to see this fight except for Joe Rogan. Jon Jones versus Pereira. And the only reason this is C tier and not D tier is because if Pereira would have won against Ank, he would be fighting for triple champ, which obviously would have been huge. I don't think anyone in the UFC has fought for triple champ. But other than that, you know, this fight fucking blows. Like I said, Joe Rogan is the only one that wanted to see this shit. After every single fucking win that Pereira had, he'd get on the mic and ask him if he's moving up to heavyweight to fight Jon Jones. And no, he's not fucking moving up there. Nobody wants to see this fucking fight at all, except for Rogan. That's it. And you know, knowing what we know now about how Pereira stands with Ankalaev, I just don't think that this fight would have been competitive at all. I think Jon Jones would have probably smoked him. And I think that Pereira is just too light for the division, honestly. But we'll move on from there. Alright, this next fight, nobody wanted to see this shit. This is another stinker. Nobody wanted to see this shit, not even Rogan. DDP versus Pereira. Yeah. Yeah, this fight could have been competitive, but let's be honest, no one was interested in Pereira moving back down, and still no one is. Nobody's interested in that shit. And I just think Pereira fits a lot better at light heavyweight because, I mean, most people in light heavyweight are just primarily strikers, and, you know, I think that he's too big for that division. I mean, the weight cut hit him pretty hard. I think that he's just way better at light heavyweight. But yeah, this fight is dog shit, man. Like, I really just don't think that anybody wanted to see this fight. And so, just be glad Pereira fought Ank instead of this shit. So yeah, moving on, we got the elephant in the room. Khabib versus Tony. Yeah, I don't think Tony wins this fight. I'm gonna be honest. Right after this fight was supposed to happen, this is when he started his notorious losing streak. So I really think that if this fight would have happened, his losing streak probably just would have started sooner, because this was the best guy at lightweight at the time, man. I mean Tony, I mean, obviously the fucking boogeyman, El Kukui. But listen, I think at the time, you know, this fight was a month before his fight with Gaethje. Or this fight was supposed to happen a month before his fight with Gaethje. So I'm pretty sure Tony was already washed at the time. And yeah, I was hyped up at the time, but the fact that Tony was probably already washed makes this fight a B tier, not an A tier. And the next fight, do I even need to explain why this is A tier? Everybody knows Jon Jones was ducking this guy like crazy. And, you know, I actually think it's funny because I don't think that you can ever count out Jon Jones. Like, even in the Aspenol fight, I really don't think that you can ever count out Jon Jones. Like, he always has a shot of winning, even against, like, the craziest people. I do think Ngannou still wins, though. But it's just crazy how Jones is still continuing his ducking streak into 2025 with absolutely no shame whatsoever, talking about, is it ducking if I'm living my best life? Dude, it's fucking bullshit. But anyways, you already fucking know why this is A tier. I don't gotta explain it all that much. So moving on, we got Khabib versus Max Holloway, and once again, cool fight, but I just don't think that it's all that fun stylistically. You know, when I watch Holloway fight, I want to see him scrap, and I just don't think Khabib would really match that same energy in the ring with Holloway. I mean, I still think that it's a competitive fight, but like I said, I'm trying to see Holloway in there with like the Gaethjes or the Ilias or the Volks or whatever. And I'm trying to see him point at the center of the octagon, I'm the best boxer! And listen, I just don't see that happening in this fight. You know, also Khabib definitely would have won that too, and I just hate seeing my boy Holloway go down like that. So yeah, this fight's C tier. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Listen, man, this next one is a fucking sleeper pick. I'm actually proud of myself for putting this shit on here. Tell me you do not want to see this fight. Tell me you don't want to see these two flying around the octagon, throwing fucking tornado kicks at each other. This shit would have been so dope, and I'm low-key pissed that we'll never see it. And, you know, I know that their names aren't as big as a lot of these other guys on the list. But yeah, so I just can't justify putting it above B. But dude, come on. Tell me this wouldn't have been a sick fight. Alright, we got two more, and you guys already fucking know what these are. So, first off, you knew this was coming. And I'm not even gonna waste your time with this shit. Dana couldn't even say the fight's name without coughing up bullshit. Honestly, bro, I just think Aspenol needs to move on. This shit's never happening, and Jones, please stop messing around with ladyboys in Thailand. Alright, last fight we got on the list. You already know what the fuck it is. Do I even need to say it? Bro, I hate how we're all just accepting that this fight is never happening. Ilya versus Charles and Islam versus JDM are just not as good as this shit. I literally dream about the day this fight happens, gaslighting myself into believing that we may get this someday, but we're not. Dude, if fucking Islam win or lose, he's not going back down to fucking lightweight. And I just don't see it fucking happening, man. And dude, you're fucking lying to yourself if you say that you don't want to see this fight. I see a bunch of people online trying to fucking say that they don't want to see this fight, but dude, you're fucking lying. This is a sick ass fight, dude. This fight is literally like, it determines who is the GOAT of the sport. Not even just like best in the lightweight division, but it determines who is the GOAT of this fucking sport, dude. It's bigger than all of these fights mentioned. It's bigger than probably any fight in the UFC. It would probably be bigger than Khabib and McGregor. And we might have seen a second wave of, because, you know, the Khabib and McGregor fight brought in a lot of UFC fans. And we would probably see another wave of those UFC fans coming in after this fight. I think that this would have drawn a lot of eyes. It could have been one of the biggest fights in UFC history. And, yeah, I don't know why everyone is lying to themselves saying that they'd rather see Islam versus JDM. Listen, I love JDM, but that fight is not as hype as this one. I would much rather see this fight. Dude, why are we letting the UFC get away with booking these lukewarm fights? Honestly, we gotta start a fucking union against these people, man. This shit is crazy, but nah, I'm just kidding. I need this sport like I need water, man. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for the video. If you have any other fights that I missed, drop them in the comments below. But other than that, I'll see you next time.